Hello and welcome to Oz by Drone. I'm Greg and we've got someone standing in for John this week. John's away. And who have we got?
How you doing? I'm doing good, except that I'm listening to that lousy jazz that you keep playing.
Yeah, that's all right. My producer's cutting it from you now as we speak.
Okay. All right, good. But, yeah.
What's wrong with that music? Come on, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's just not my cup of tea. If it's country or maybe some old time rock and roll, yeah, I could.
Yeah, emphasis on the old time. Emphasis on the old.
Exactly. But
anyway. So, Lloyd, thank you for filling in. John's away. In fact, he's away for 4 weeks in a row. So if other people of our regulars are interested in jumping into a co-host seat, I'm just going to say I'd love to have a few other people just to mix it up a little bit. If not, you're going to have to put up with Lloyd.
Yeah, that's your choice, folks. And I wanted to give a special shout out to somebody who is always in attendance on your show. They're there come rain or shine. They're everybody's favorite, infamous Net Nanny. Hello, Nightbot. How you doing?
Are you suggesting Nightbot should be the co-host? That'd be interesting. You're banned. You're banned.
Exactly. Everybody knows my fight with Nightbot.
Yeah, but I will say one other regular that's here all the time, and I want to do a special shout out to him, Chris Hope. I get a message on my phone this morning. Have a great show, and it means a lot. You know, you're putting all of this work into it. He's a really good guy. So, Chris, if you want to jump into the co-host chair over the next month, love to have you. But
yeah, Chris is a great guy. He does so much for Mel and I behind the scenes. You know, he does the posting and stuff, and he does Mel the same way. He does me the same way. He does Ken Heron. You know, I mean, he just really good about supporting everybody.
Yeah, he's a great community guy. But now it's time for the news. So let's get stuck into it. Now, our first story today, this one's a local Australian one. Drones will keep a watchful eye over crowds at events in Melbourne when Victoria's Police's drone unit is up and running by the end of August. Police will use 50 unmanned aerial drones to support operations, map crime scenes, and provide search and rescue support.
These drones will soon take to the skies in Melbourne, so keep an eye out for troublemakers in crowds.
Okay, they're going to have 50 unmanned in the
Just let's listen to the article.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was...
Good morning. Victoria Police is certainly taking their fight against crime to new heights with this technology, which will be deployed at major events, including footy games here at the MCG, as well as concerts in Melbourne and even major protests where they'll be keeping an eye on any troublemakers. These drones are capable of travelling at speeds of over 70 kilometres an hour. They can send back live high-definition footage to Police HQ and are also capable of extreme zooms, night vision and thermal imaging, meaning they can be deployed 24/7. And it's not just major events they'll be keeping an eye on. They can also be deployed where it's too dangerous to send foot patrols, including search and rescue missions in treacherous conditions. Civil liberties groups have raised concerns about this technology, claiming it's a possible invasion of privacy, but police say that as the game changes, police need to adapt with it. The fleet of 70 drones will take to the skies next month, with specialist officers currently being trained as drone pilots.
Pat, thank you.
Yeah, so... interesting story there. I want to express my thoughts. The whole privacy debate thing, I don't think is really an issue. Anything that you can see from a helicopter can be seen from a drone. So I don't personally see that as an issue.
Right. Yeah, that was my question. And I hate to tell you, I couldn't hear the story, so I'm going to have to watch it.
I could hear it. Have we got live output to... Look, we'll come back and have a look at that in a little bit. But
all right, yeah.
Okay, we'll go and check that out later. But for now, as long as our viewers heard the story, please do comment in chat if you're not hearing the audio for that. And if we've got any problems, we'll go and sort that out. But essentially, the privacy issue from my perspective is a non-issue. If a helicopter can take a photograph, then so can a drone. And whatever a helicopter can see, a drone can see. And there's nothing new under the sun there. So that's already existing. And I can see that there's a little window on top of I'm just talking to my producer. Move the statistics window out of the way a little bit. That'll fix it. There we go. Move it to the right. Right. There we go. Sorry about that. So the privacy issue is one thing. The second thing is safety issue. So if we've got a safety issue, what would that be? If they're using matrice drones from what I heard. Now, if they're using matrices, they don't necessarily have full redundancy in terms of props and batteries and all of those kind of things necessarily to meet the CASA requirements. My understanding, it's something I'd need to go and do a bit of specific research on it to confirm.
Right.
But if they can go and fly that aircraft in crowded areas over the top of people, why not you and me? Maybe we should fly them in a way we can fly them over the top of a dog, but that's another story.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's live, folks. Well, I mean, you talk about the redundancy. Okay. What are the redundancies on a helicopter? You know, and a helicopter that is doing observation has as likely a chance to crash as a drone.
No, I'll say one thing. In terms of the internal systems within a helicopter, they're designed in such a way that there's a person on board.
That's true.
And there's a higher motivation of the person flying the aircraft to not have it go down.
That's true too. Yeah, but when push comes to shove, they've got one blade. You got four on a drone. You know.
Yeah, but there's no one inside in fear of their own life in terms of how they operate the aircraft.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
And but
look,
just a thought.
Here's my take personally. I think it's good that the police have got access to this. I have no problem with the privacy aspect at all, personally. But the safety aspect, if they can do it, why can't we? That's my only question.
Yeah. And you're right, as far as safety goes.
Yeah. So next on the screen, we've got a video. I'll just get ready to turn the volume down. Let's play that video. So this is about a company called EVIATION, and this is a time-lapse video of an aircraft being built. This is EVIATION are preparing to take flight, testing their new aircraft called Alice. It's all-electric regional airliner in the US. The Israeli startup company brought its full-scale prototype of the 9-seat all-composite design to the Paris Air Show in June, and they announced an initial order from US operator Cape Air. EVIATION expects the path to FAA Part 23 type certification to take between 24 to 30 months after the Alice achieves its first flight before the end of 2019, allowing for entry into service by the end of 2022. It's set to be the first Part 23 all-electric aircraft and the first with full fly-by-wire flight controls. This is pretty cool. Now, technically speaking, it's not a drone story, but considering the stuff that we are predominantly using, they're ultimately electric powered, they're ultimately aircraft, they're just not carrying people. But I think it's a really cool story. Let's just put that full screen just for the end of the video. Now, I did have other clips that if you search for EVIATION on YouTube, you will find other clips that people have got of this actually being test flown, which look really cool, but I didn't have the rights to use that at that time, so I didn't want to put that up. But this is, as I said, a time lapse of the aircraft being built.
Now this is an electric aircraft, right?
This is an electric aircraft beginning to end. And I would absolutely, to use someone else's term, would you fly that? Yeah. Absolutely, I would. It's fly-by-wire. It'd be interesting to know about their internal avionics. Have they got autopilot systems configured into it as well? Obviously, probably yes. But to what extent can it autopilot and be more autonomous potentially than other aircraft? What I also was reading about was some of their technology in terms of controlling and maneuvering the aircraft and using differential thrust as part of the normal aircraft systems to give their passengers a smoother ride. So Looks really interesting, and it'd be a good one to follow.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. It's electric. It satisfies all the tree hug, the environmentalist. I'm sorry that I was going to come up with another word I can't say on here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, it's actually something to follow.
Yeah. And next on our show today, we're going to talk about a crash. This one, the US Army says an RQ-7 Shadow tactical unmanned aircraft system operated by the 25th Infantry Division crashed at about 3:30 p.m. near Army Base in central Oahu. Don't have any video on it, but I've just got that picture of that particular aircraft type there. Don't know any more detail about it at this stage, but something to follow up. How are they maintaining safety and all of that kind of stuff? What if they were using it somewhere else? Was it a problem with the aircraft or operations? A lot of questions,
Okay.
but just an early story for the moment.
Right. That was the it's the Army drone. Okay, yeah. All right. And nothing more on that. Okay.
Not at this stage. Not at this stage. Just an early story. Moving on from that, we've got a camera crew. This is an Australian story. This camera crew captures the moment when a driver in a speeding stolen car swerves to avoid road spikes, with the car coming within meters of the unprotected crew, and before other drivers, before fleeing the scene with police in pursuit. Now, they deployed the spikes there, and the vehicle obviously avoided the spikes, nearly missed the camera crew, and went off to the side. But that's not all. That's not the end of the story. After it fled the scene here, and they used drones to go and chase down. Unfortunately, we don't have footage of that, but it's a good drone story that they chased down the suspect and apprehended them. So a good use of drone technology by the Tasmanian law enforcement.
Not only that, that was one talented driver.
Can we play that again?
Vehicle.
Can we play that video again? I want to have a look at it one more time.
Bad guy or not, that's talented driving.
It is.
Oh, not only that, look at that. Just misses all those cars and just that was one crazy dude, that's for sure.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Sorry, go.
He must have been American because he was driving on our side of the road.
Driving on the wrong side of the road. Boom,
Yeah,
tish.
he's driving on my, yeah.
Oops, wrong one. Let me play the next one even. There we go. OPENSKY. We've talked a lot about Project Wing, and Project Wing is still in the news. This week, Drone Below reports that Project Wing has bloomed into an independent alphabet business, and it has also won governmental approval to operate in the suburbs outside of the Australian capital, Canberra, in recent times. I've got to go and check up on that one as well. I haven't been able to confirm that approval yet, but we'll have a look at that as well. Wing services in Canberra deliver food, coffee, pet supplies, and more to area residents. Going forward on similar lines, Wing has now launched the new app that we also spoke about last week for drone flyers, known as OPENSKY. The app will help drone users find safe places and or times to fly their drones or drone fleets. And as we said last week, the app is not as good as the existing one that already came from CASA, because you don't know what it is that they've got an exclusion zone around. You can't actually tell. So Google, Alphabet, you need to go back to learn your ABCs, because that wasn't a very good app.
Yeah. You and John talked about that quite a bit last week, about how it was pretty much worthless.
The app was worthless, and really delivering dog food? Is that the best we can do?
Well, that's why guys like me are so fat and lazy, because we can't be bothered to get up and go to the store to get our own flipping dog food, you know?
Yeah, but come on, you've got other motivations to go to the local store.
Well, at least a smoke
Moving
shop.
on. Yeah. Okay, so we've got one more story split into two parts, and it's all related to DJI. Let's play this video clip first. There we go. So this is exclusive footage of the Chinese people in DJI, you know, spying on everyone else in the world. You've got your DJI drone doing its stuff. And again, people are scared of it. The company's customer base extends beyond China to the US and Europe and many other countries. The US were previously afraid of that, but recently, of course, they've been manufacturing and doing all of that in the US. And all of a sudden, the US is not so scared about it. According to Jan Gasprick, Director of Strategic Partnerships at DJI, US public safety agencies are rapidly adopting unmanned aircraft from DJI despite the Trump administration's security concerns. So I'm joking about that being exclusive footage in case you couldn't guess, but
yeah, I figured that much.
Let me go on just for a minute. I'll play the second part of this story and then we'll have a chat about it. In another report this week in the Nikkei Asia, it reports that Chinese drone maker DJI plans to start building its unmanned aircraft in the US to avoid being hit by additional tariffs and alleviate concerns among American national security officials about data leaks. Now, in this graphic that I've got there, it's all about the money. It's all about the tariffs. This whole manufacturing the US thing, it's been marketed as it's good for America for safety concern reasons. But at the end of the day, the software, you can't tell what's in the software on that drone. It's going to be the same piece of software, whether it's manufactured hardware in the US or it's manufactured hardware in China. It makes absolutely no difference. This is all about the money. And I think Trump, to his credit, is saying, you know, hey, we're going to put high tariffs on you. And DJI is coming back and saying, okay, we'll manufacture over there and we're going to avoid those tariffs. That's a good thing. I think the rest is all spin, personally.
Well, yeah, it's spin by DJI, and that's what it comes down to, because you know the trade deficit has been so out of balance between what China does, what they charge us to import stuff into China, and you know the way they're just putting out cheap stuff all the time. Okay, fine. You know, if you don't equalize here a little bit, we'll throw some tariffs on you and say, how about if we make it in the United States and anybody will think it's safe? No, it's still the same crap. It's still the same software that they were using before. And until we start designing our own software, and and that's really what it comes down to, is we're not designing this stuff. We're not making this stuff. We're not doing this stuff. We're letting China do it all.
But here's the reality. Here's the reality. DJI don't want to let people go and put software open, anything they like on their drones for their own competitive advantage. And I get that. But having said that, why not say, okay, we're going to keep everything closed, but we're going to open up two modules. One is the module that goes and communicates between the drone and the aircraft. So someone in a military governmental agency or whatever could put in their own communication wedge or whatever that they write that is going to sit between the drone and the remote control device. Encrypt the data any way you want at that point. You put your wedge in on both ends.
Right.
Then the other thing you need to do is to have another similar wedge that sits on the comms link back to the internet. So the app which is doing its stuff, you can control what information goes back. Why not open that stuff up, leave that open, but DJI can still have their commercial and competitive advantage on everything else. People that are non-government users, they can use the default wedges and little bits that come from DJI. Everyone else can do it the smart way that they need to do for their particular use case. I reckon that'd be a great compromise.
Well, it would be, and that's what they should be doing. That's what the government should be doing. They should have it encrypted so that nothing goes out. But either they're going to have to get hold of the software, and they're going to have to reverse engineer it so they can put in their own code. You know,
that's not what's proposed at the moment. That's not what's proposed, though. At the moment, they're just saying, make the hardware over here, drop the tariffs, problem solved. And, oh, by the way, we'll let you go and do your stuff because the manufacturer is promising And I'm not suggesting there's anything bad, but the manufacturer is promising that this is all safe and secure and we're not going to let any data go out.
This is a communist government. It's just that simple. They're known for spying. They're known for their bad conduct, and it's to our own folly that we're allowing them to do this.
Yeah. Anyway, as we reach the end of our news today, it's now time to move on. Let's bring up... There will be no news from now on. And let's bring in our guest. Now, let's just keep that music for just a little moment. Last time my wife faded it very quickly and it just cut, and I thought we'd try and avoid that today. There we go. So, welcome to our guest, Chris Wighton. Did I say your name correctly, Chris?
You did.
Oops.
You did. Good morning.
There we go. This time we had too much music.
Well, this time I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah. Morning, guys. Yes, you did get the name right. Yes.
Yeah, Chris, Bask Aerospace, welcome and thank you for joining us and being our guest today. Chris, tell me a little bit about Bask Aerospace. What's your claim to fame in the drone industry?
Okay, so our big claim to fame, David Skinner started the company about 10 years ago. We're an Australian-made, Australian-owned, Australian-designed company based out of Melton currently, down the west of Victoria. We're targeting commercial drones primarily at the moment in the agricultural field. So having all the rights to do what we need with the drones, where we don't sit there, and David's got this little catchphrase, we don't flog drones, we sell people solutions. So it's more finding a way to integrate the drone into whatever the customer may need. So primarily in agriculture, at the moment we've got a big push on things like bird scaring for crop protection, which is a slightly different avenue to a lot of the guys, and offering people easy to use, ready to fly drones in a kit that you can send out and fly autonomous missions. Yes, you can still flick it into a manual mode if you so desire to do manual missions, but setting up something that is a little bit more cost effective and a little bit more dynamic than current things like the netting and the air cannons and the shotguns and everything else that you run around with. And giving people sort of that adaptable approach that you can then use in multiple different areas. So you unclip the bird scarer from the bottom and you put on your mapping camera, or your normal RGB camera or your thermal camera, and off you run. You can do your next task.
Okay.
But it's
We've got a couple of photos. We'll put some of those up as we talk. Let's just chuck the first one up. And tell me what we're looking at with a few of these as we go.
So that one there is our Aerodrone Mark 4. So that's sort of our front runner of the thing, and that's probably what we use for the bird scaring kit. Just a multi-rotor, 4-rotor unit there, with obviously the big bird scaring box underneath. Having something like that sitting in the bird's sort of what is known as the bird's sort of safe space. Typically, if there's a threat on the ground, the birds retreat to the air. Having something like that sitting out where the birds currently are makes that safe space not very safe. So they tend to move off. But in terms of the drone itself, it's a multi-rotor 4-rotor, as you'll see there. 12-volt payload.
Can I ask, have you got any solutions that provide some automation in terms of that particular type of solution, auto launching?
So that one there does auto launch as well. All you do is arm and then flick to auto and raise your throttle and off she goes. And she'll fly the complete autonomous mission and then land exactly where you took off from. So that's what we're trying to get ease of use. The people that are needing this protection typically aren't people that have been out and done the REOC or have pilot license or anything else. So to use this technology safely out there, it needs to be usable by the end customer, and that's really what we've targeted on here. So you load your mission up, we'll come out and we actually set missions up with people out on their farm, so it is site specific, and then away you go. You have a range of missions there, and you just change the upload, which is all wireless. You just dial in from your computer, send it across, and hit the go button, and away she goes.
And this one?
That's just the MR4 currently sitting in the air. That was a nice little photo shoot. The idea of it is that the speaker at the bottom there is really drawing the attention of the birds. and then the actual physical presence of a drone acting as a predator in that space is sort of what is the main deterrent for the birds coming back or hanging around in the first place.
Can I just ask about the legs? They look a bit unique to me.
It's going to get to the legs.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay.
Yep. People always, I'll address it now. People always go, why are they acrylic legs? And I'm like, well, first, they're not acrylic. They are polycarbonate. But David designed them as shock absorbers. They act sort of like giant springs. If you do have a rougher than intended landing, rather than that whole force going the whole way up through the chassis of the drone, those legs will slightly distort, and being plastic, they will distort and slightly bend if it's a little bit too much. But it gives the drone a bit more redundancy rather than hitting the ground a bit harder and the thing smashing into a billion pieces. It is an agricultural tool. It's got to be able to survive in an agricultural environment. So
I was looking at the shape of that and thinking that's a really smart design. Definitely the shape.
Yes.
What have we got next on the? Let's play the next one.
The photo, yep.
So we've got a video clip of that particular drone in the air.
Yep. So this is it coming in for Model Land itself. Yeah, this is the fun bit. So this is where I first came on board with David. So David already had the drones up and running, and then needed a bit more manpower to get this next phase going, which is Smart Hanger. So it's taking all that automation that is already based around the operation of drones and the use of drones for agricultural purposes, and automating that entire thing, right from decisions whether to fly or not to fly, randomizing your mission paths, getting all the data back out of the drone to start with, and the lovely topic that everyone loves is the charging. Now, we've got two different options in that, or the first product will be released just as a charging option, so it'll actually charge inside the drone, with future development going down the way of actual battery swapping, which allows for continuous flight, and therefore either continuous surveillance or continuous crop protection, depending on what stream you want to go down. So Smart Hanger is really taking that whole use of the drone and all the benefits of it, and putting it in an automated solution so that end user is not having to spend their time. If you've ever been out on a farm, you'll know the phrase that there's always work to be done on the farm, which is very true. And that's why having a solution that is a complete solution from every aspect of that is ideal. Yeah. And that's what people want. So we've got the MR4s out there as the Avian Scout package already. And the most common question we get once we've delivered to the customer and everything else is, can you automate it? And we love that question because we can say, yes, we can, and we're working on it. So the Smart Hanger is in prototype stages at the moment. We want to start system trials at the end of the year, getting them out there and fully functioning and working, which is what we're on track to do, or targeting to do.
Can I ask, what's the weight of that Smart Hanger box?
At the moment, given that it's an aluminium case, two of us can lift it up at the moment. If we need to. I forget what weight it was. It's about 60, 70 at the moment. There will be a bit more weight added to it given that the internal batteries and everything still need to go in at the moment to maintain it. So the idea being the solar panels that are currently on there will come off, and it will be a remote triggered generator to recharge the system batteries. Particularly if it's got to charge the drone batteries, there's going to need to be a fair bit of current going back into it, which is where a standalone generator allows it to be, most remote spot you can possibly want to put this, which is where the advantage really is.
Looks really cool. Have you had a chat to like Project Wing and the likes of them? Because obviously they've got something where they're regularly sending out, coming back. Have they had a chat to you yet?
I haven't had a chat with them as yet. We've had a chat to a few guys. We've got some relations going with the other people, such as the guys from Hive. And obviously Aerobotics is the big one in that sort of space of having an automated hanger. So we do keep our finger on the pulse, and as I say, we're happy to have a chat with people at any point. They can get in touch with us. We're pretty open about things. So
Okay. I do encourage people to go to your website. There's more stuff that you've got in there that I had a look at a little earlier. Certainly HereLink in terms of remote control and so on. You've even got drone insurance guides. You've talked about bird problems that we've just had a look at. You're selling cubes there as well.
Yeah.
You're all over it.
So yeah, we've got sort of a multi-pronged business at the moment, which is a lot of fun. One of the big parts is obviously our big spare parts division, which, as you've just touched on there, we are a reseller for Hex and mount products as well, which anyone who's building drones generally like to get their hands on. But yes, we do also have the extended network from the guys at Precision Autonomy out there with the insurance, and generally try to keep, I mean, it's how you survive in this field. You've got to be aware of what everyone else is doing in the field and have that relationship with people. It's not about, coming in and trying to be, the overall new kingpin. It's about working with that industry to help develop it.
Partnering, building up the relationships. I did have a chat to the Precision Autonomy, I think that was the name, insurance people. Yeah, I had a chat to them. Hopefully we'll get them onto the show at some point in the near future, but we'll follow up on that one. Now we get to this point in the show. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say briefly?
Not at the moment, no. I think I've
Have you got any toys there? Have you got any toys there you can share?
Not with me. I'm actually at home. I'm not in the workshop. If I was in the workshop, I've got all kinds of goodies. But I will stay on the chat room if people have got questions, a bit like that. So feel free to drop them in there.
Okay. I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, this thing is sort of like a predator against birds out in the field and stuff.
Yep.
Correct? That's something like what's over my shoulder here, a hawk. Okay. So what are you going to be supplying the Kuhnert bird eyes? If you don't know who Kuhnert is, you need to look him up, because he guarantees his bird eyes will keep it from being attacked. So I suggest, you supply one with each new drone that you sell. Just saying.
With a big set of the eyes on the top of it.
Yeah. Look, there's been apparently a number of studies where people have had a look at eyes on a drone. The birds do tend to avoid them a little bit more.
Yeah,
I actually put some on my drone just the 4th. Of course, they couldn't see it as nighttime, so they didn't glow in the dark. But still, I got some and put on my drone because everybody swears by them. So that's an idea. Paint some bird eyes on there, because it is, after all, a predator. That's the idea. That it's a fantastic scarecrow. That's it. It's a moving scarecrow. It's something that's dynamic in the bird's space. Whereas, exactly.
I know you can get the big inflatable things that have got the big bug eyes on them that birds don't like, but eventually, if it doesn't move, they get used to it. They're cheap. They're easy. Kuhnert sells them for $10 a pop. Slightly restricted the amount of space you can cover. I mean, we can cover 80 hectares in a single flight off one of those drones. So you put that smart hanger in the middle, and I'll see your king herring eyes, and I'll raise your smart hanger.
Look, since you're having fun taking care of our co-host there today, it's now time for a little bit of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to play Stop the Yank.
All right, and that's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that fun game show that we love and you love, but Grumpy hates. It's time to play Stump the Yank.
All right.
So I'll just fade that music. There we go. Let's get rid of the music. Let's kill it.
Now I'm hearing the music.
Yeah, I know you are, and we're going to get rid of the music. It's okay. So we've got it. We had a chat before, and rather than me coming up with a question, because you're an Aussie and our co-host is a Yank today, we thought we'd mix it up a little bit and get you to come up with a question. So what have you got for our guest today?
We got a couple of little quick ones, but we'll go for a good one that I thought was pretty iconic of Australia. It rolls in a few things there. So it's a multiple choice question. To be a stubby short of a six-pack means what? And I'll repeat it. To be a stubby short of a six-pack means what? Someone who does silly things, someone who likes a drink or is missing a drink, someone who's a bit crazy, someone with 5 kids.
Someone who's a bit crazy.
It's definitely someone who's a bit crazy.
Nice pick.
Did have a bit of inspiration from yourself there to pick that one. So I was like, oh, that's a good one for that.
Yeah.
Well said.
Okay. You said you had another one.
Yeah, I got another one. As soon as you like famous people, we'll go with that. Steve Irwin's famous catchphrase is "Far out, what a beauty, crikey, or cool."
Crikey, mate.
Yeah.
Well done. Look, we couldn't stump the Yank today. Lloyd's got too many Aussie friends. So, look, thank you for staying around for a little bit of just craziness at the end. And again, please do stay in the chat, have a chat to some people if they've got any other questions. Yep. It'd be really cool to have you there.
No worries. I'll hang around.
Okay. Now, as we move from there, next on our list, so we've had Stump the Yank. Next, I want to quickly talk about our competition today. So we've got a quick little thing I'll put up on the screen. Today, thanks to our partner flythere.com, we've got a Thailand flight giveaway. So the challenge is we want to help them and also give you a chance to win this competition. So what you need to do right now is to go onto your social media platform of your choice, and you need to put some words into that platform. You need to say something. And Grumps, can you type this into the chat room just to help make it easy for people? So here's the words you got to go and tweet out or Facebook out or whatever it is that you want to do. Here are the words. So the words are, I want to go flying in Thailand. Want to come with me? And then put flythere.com, the name of that domain at the end of it. I want to go flying in Thailand. Want to come with me? And put flythere.com. That's what you need to do right now. And a little bit later in the show, we'll come back and we'll give away that prize. But for now, oops, I'm having fun today. There we go. Let's kill that. Put that in the social media platform of your choice, and we'll give away that flight a little bit later today.
Were you supposed to send that to me somewhere?
I was going to send it to you, but I forgot. I got distracted. Hopefully you've remembered it.
I'm old. You expect me to remember that?
I want to go flying in Thailand. Want to join me? ? Flythere.com at the end. Hang on. I'll put it in.
I'll put it in. You're faster because, one, I can't remember how to spell Thailand.
My producer is having a little chuckle to that.
Yeah, well, you were supposed to send it to me, not make me. Jiminy Christmas! You posted
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, Jiminy Christmas. That's the nice way of saying it.
I want to go flying in Thailand. Wanna join me? ? Flythere.com. So send that out. And a little bit later, we're going to pick it at random from people watching the show today, and we'll give that away today. So moving on from that, how do I post it here from Facebook? 400 AGL, just post it. Just do a new post into your Facebook page and include those words. Easy as that. There's nothing to share. Just do a new one yourself, a new post.
Yeah, just copy it and put it on just drag across that line, copy it, and then go to Facebook and post it.
Okay. And with that, it's now time for FPV Korner. So we'll put that up and give people a chance to go and do their social share. Let's have a look at today's clip. So I've got some comments here from our wonderful compositor. We've got Greg Hilton, who goes and puts this together each and every week, and he made some comments. If you thought last week's clip was fantastic, this week's clip will blow your socks off. This comes from the legendary Steve K using a Beta 75X and nerves of steel. Steve actually shows the versatility of the 75X to its full potential to create a truly awesome clip. Enjoy. And this was taken with a small Cinewhoop stabilized in post-production as what he actually included on the YouTube information as well.
Oh, man.
Does this make you want to come to Australia?
It does. Actually, I want to come to Australia anyways. It's just too cheap to pay for a plane ticket.
Well, maybe you can go to Thailand. Oh, wait, you can't enter because you're the co-host.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had that discussion already. Besides, I'm bowing out of contest for a short period of time. I'm on a contest.
Look at this. This is absolutely under the waterfall. This is the magical piece.
This reminds me out of
Look
Avatar.
at this.
Dragons, you know, where they're flying those dragons coming off the cliff that first time. It's what this reminds me of.
But this is absolutely amazing. I can't describe it any better.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at the color of that water.
Under the rock shelf there.
And she's flying through all that water. It's just like...
So while this is playing out, I'm going to ask you to do something else for me, Lloyd. This one you can do. Can you paste the rendezvous link into the chat?
The rendezvous. Yeah, I can actually do that.
Yeah. So what we're going to have in a couple of minutes at the end of this clip, we're going to do Ask the Oracle. Now, since we've got a gentleman who we would describe as wise as our co-host today, with lots of experience and knowledge in his many years, we just thought we'd have a bit of fun and ask one of our audience members to jump in for a little while, come in on the screen. We'll say goodbye to Chris. We'll disconnect you. If you could disconnect from the window now, that'd be really cool, Chris, and just continue watching on YouTube. And we'll ask one of our audience members, if you want to jump in and ask a question, you can do that. Just click on the link and come in and we'll put you up on the screen in a few moments. While we are waiting for one of those people to come in today, so the competition. Now, hopefully you've all done your social sharing. That's all completed. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to put this one up on the screen. Oh, we've got Mel here now. He's very fast off the mark. We'll talk to you in a couple of minutes, Mel. Just hang there for a little while. Before you do Mel stuff to my producer, let me just send something live for a while. Just click that. There we go. So let me just put this on the screen. So right here, this is how we're going to give away the prize. So this is a wheel, and the numbers that are on the wheel are totally random every single time. Oh, we've got two people. Is that another Mel? Mad Kiwi. We've got him as well. Add him into there as well. Add him in and accept him in. We'll talk to one of those two people in a minute. Okay, so this wheel is totally random, and what you need to do is you're going to pick a number between 1 and 100. So let's go and do that now. I'll just clear that off the screen.
Who's picking the number?
The people in the chat room. I want everyone in the chat room to type in a number between 1 and 100. Okay, I'm going to give you plenty of time to do that now. And then we're going to go and spin the wheel, and whoever gets the number that comes up on the wheel, the first person to have typed that number, you're winning the competition. Okay, so right now in the chat room, type in, you can type in more than one number if you like, but you've got to be very quick. Whoever's first, and I can see Mel typing in numbers now. There's Brett Nundley. We'll have a few more people typing in just a moment. So while you're typing in the numbers, I'll get my wife to go and put, let's put, not Mel, who was the other person again?
Bad Kiwi.
Yeah, let's chuck Kiwi up. Not that I have anything against Mel. He's a lovely guy, but I haven't had Kiwi up here before, so we'll throw him on. By the way, Kiwi, can you turn your phone sideways into landscape mode? That's better.
Ah, that's better.
Okay, so people are typing in numbers left, right, and center. Now I'm going to go and spin the wheel. So here we go. Hopefully someone's typed in the number that's going to come up in a few moments. There we go. So what number have we got? The competition winning number today. And even if the number hasn't been typed up yet, you can type it in now. The number is 33. And Brett Nunley, you've typed that in, so you're the winner of today's prize. And I want to again thank our sponsor from flythere.com. They're providing this prize to us. So what's going to happen now, you're going to get an email with a voucher loaded up. You'll be able to go onto the flythere.com website and go flying in Thailand, flying a drone. Invite a friend to come along and let them fly as well. Have some fun. And please do take some photos and bring them back to us so we can share them with our audience a little bit later. So let's now bring our guest in. Hello, Mad Kiwi. Oh, I've got to get rid of that. That's having fun today. There we go. How you doing, Kiwi?
I'm doing well, mate. Yourself?
I'm having fun. Ask the Oracle. What do you want to ask? And do you want to ask it of Lloyd or me or both?
Oh, I don't really know, really. It's just great to be here, really. I've sort of been following you guys for a wee while. I got my Mavic Air way back in sort of February, and I've just been watching, learning and listening, and here I am.
Where are you based? Obviously,
I'm based
south of the border?
Just a wee bit. I'm in the deep south near Gore, which is the country music capital of New Zealand, just to help Lloyd along.
Can you say that again? Can you say the name of your country again?
Kiwiland.
New Zealand? I can't do it.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips, yeah. Okay.
I
Greg,
got a question. What's the number after 5 but before 7?
Oh, it's definitely 6, not 6.
I knew you were going to go there, Lloyd. But anyway, what was your question, Kiwi?
I was going to say, Greg, have you got a deck?
A deck?
A deck.
I need to introduce a delay and a beep button soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Go Telstra.
Yeah, well, Telstra, let's not go. Actually, they've been reasonable today. They've been reasonable. Has it buffered for you at all today?
Yeah, twice. It's even wiped you clean out and says, please retry again. But the funny thing is, I've got you, if I spin around, I've got you hooked up on my laptop and the TV, so there you are.
Okay. Cool. Okay,
I'm
look,
laid
thanks.
up with this plaster on my leg, so yeah.
What have you done to your leg?
I just fixed an old injury from 30 years ago, get rid of the bone pain, so they've fused it solid, so I'm laid up for another 10 weeks or so.
Okay. And what do you normally do flying-wise? Where do you fly?
Oh, I've been trying to get out, but I've just been allowed to drive again. So I'm getting my car organised and my drone organised, and I'm going to be taking some photos and that for SOAR, and I can go to Queenstown and Alexandra and Roxburgh and all the go-to spots around the deep south here. So you might even go to Milford yet.
Yeah, look, do send some photos or some videos in. We'd love to have a look at some of the places that you're flying at. That'd be really cool.
Yep. Yeah, no worries, guys.
Okay. I'll say thank you to you, and I'll cut back to Lloyd for a little while. And I was going to say we're going to put Mel in, but he's already disappeared off the screen. He didn't wait around long enough. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go put Lloydie back on for a moment. There we go.
All right.
Let's do this. So we've given away the prize, and congratulations, by the way, to the winner. You do need to email me. The winner again was Brent Nunley. Do email me. Let's quickly do that right now. I'll put an email address.
Mel's back in.
You can't keep them away. Upload at gregkuhnert.com is where you need to email. Speaking of which, please do follow and share us on social media. If you share us, it helps get some more people in. That's really cool. And if you would like to send anything physically to us at any time, the address is 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales 2224. And why is that not coming on the screen? That would be because we had the wheel before. So let me try that again. I'll do it in reverse. There's our address, 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, 2224. Please do follow us, like us, share us on social media. And there's our email address, upload@gregkuhnert.com. Okay, we've done our community service announcements, and now we've got Mel over here. Hey, Mel.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome. You had a question for the Oracle.
I did. Does he have a Osmo Action, and has he gotten it wet yet and had any problems with it? So it's kind of a three-layer question.
I don't, not an Action, and of course I haven't gotten it wet because I don't have one.
No,
so I haven't had it.
I meant Greg.
No, I've only got the Pocket. I don't feel the need for the Action for me, for the type of stuff that I need. That's just me. Don't have one. Don't intend to get one. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I have one on loan, and I'm still on the fence about whether or not I actually need it as an action camera. And because it's on loan, I'm a little bit afraid to dunk it in the water, although it's supposed to be completely okay to do that.
Well, whoever loaned it to you, just ask them, can I dunk it? And tell them you'll make a video. And
yeah, they've already said, yeah, it's made to get wet and it's got DJI refresh on it, so go for it. But yeah. I'm still chicken, you know.
Okay. Look, thanks for jumping in, Mel. We're getting close to the end of our show today, so I'll say goodbye to you and thank you for your question. We might do this a few more times in the future. Ask the Oracle, just very quick questions asking us something. We got a big question mark where Mel was, and he is a question in himself. Let's go and play our Explore Australia clip for this week. So starting off at the beginning today, this first clip comes from Return Home. No, sorry, my bad. It comes from Crackers75 and the title of the clip is Return Home. June 30th, 2019, Tarlee, South Australia, Mavic Pro coming home on its own. Just sharing a little part of Australia, and what a beautiful part of Australia it is.
Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. Actually, oh, look at that.
And our second clip, I don't know why the title didn't come in, but this one is from Sky Rimmer at, there it is, Ettalong Beach, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Ettalong is a suburb of the Central Coast region of New South Wales, south of Woy Woy on the Brisbane Water, etc., etc. It's a part of the Central Coast Council local government area. It's a natural eastward continuation of Umina Beach and Ocean Beach. Look, lots of stuff in there that we've got that he's describing the area, but there's one thing that he didn't say on his video clip describing the area. It's bloody beautiful.
That is gorgeous. You know, I don't know if you follow, his name is Ari. Forgot the name of his channel, but he actually did a live shot, and if I didn't know better, I would say it was filmed right from that beach.
I'm going to come back and tell you something about Ettalong Beach in a minute, but before I do, this one's from Delta Group, standing 95 metres high and weighing approximately 200 tonne each. The 4 chimney stacks at the old Morwell Power Station have dominated the town's skyline since 1956. That was until one of this particular company's 87-tonne Delta diggers went to work. So obviously they're doing the cleanup of that location. But why are we looking at that at the moment? I'm reading the notes and I'm not seeing a power station.
No, I didn't either, but if that's a power station, that's a power station, Greg. No wonder you have so many problems with your internet.
hang on. Let me open up the email from Greg Hilton. There it is, Delta Group. This is the one. There was another video before that was something else, and that was probably my fault, not his. Stop laughing, Lloyd. There it goes. Speaking of power stations, I'm wanting to head out to Wallerawang Power Station and see if I can do some footage around there. Wallerawang is close to Lithgow, and the reason for the significance of that, my grandmother's brother worked at Wallerawang Power Station. I remember going there for a tour as a young kid, and I'd love to go back. It's closed down now, and see if I can do some footage over there. I'm going to try and do that within the next 2 weeks, I hope.
You know, I don't care what you say, watching the smokestacks fall is just cool.
Yeah. Okay, now, what am I going to talk about next? Am I going to get it right?
Let's find out.
Mark JD is this particular one. DJI drone flight around South Rianna, Tasmania, overlooking the Dial Range. Now, I've not heard of South Rianna or the Dial Range, but certainly looking very, very nice there.
Yeah.
Again, by the way, thank you to Greg Hilton, who helps to compile this each and every week. This was originally slated for last week's show, but we were running late, so this is last week's lot of clips.
No, this is just gorgeous. This actually looks a lot like Ireland.
Tasmania is a beautiful, beautiful part of our country. My parents are intending to do a trip over there. Going on the ferry, taking the car on the boat and heading out for a trip around the island when they get there. Okay, let me check my notes. I think I've got it right. Mundababra. Hang on. Mundababra. Mundubbera. I don't know how to say that. But this is filmed with a Parrot Bebop 2 FPV, some cinematic footage showing a beautiful small town in Queensland within different sides of what is named, I've got to say it again, Mundabra. There we go, Mundabra. Got it. And as I said, shot with a Parrot Bebop 2. For all that everyone uses DJI, you still get some pretty good footage out of the old Parrots.
Isn't it Mundabera?
Mundabra.
Mundabera.
Mundabra.
Okay. You live there, not me. I can't even spell Thailand. What do I know? My mind went blank.
At least this week you know to use Firefox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Inside joke there.
Yes, it is. And it's Remote Pilots Australia. He did a live show from that area that was that beautiful beach, and I'm almost sure that's where it was at because he's from that part. I'm pretty sure. That I was trying to think of. Is this still in where are we at now, Greg?
We're still on that same one, the Parrot Bebop, and we've got one more to come. Our last video from our friend Huseby Andy, our regular super pilot. There's always beautiful footage from him. This is from Blanche Point at Maslin's Beach. He's flown there before, afternoon flight to see if I've fixed my gimbal issue. It looks like it worked. Yes, it does. It's rock solid and stable. Is Andy in the room today? I don't see him there.
I thought I saw him earlier, but
Yes, he's there. Absolutely.
Oh, he is there. Okay. Means place of the black duck.
Again, if anyone wants to have their footage included, some photos included, or over the next 3 weeks while John's away, if you're interested in sitting in the place where Grumpy is, can you fill Grumpy's shoes? I don't know if you'd want to with all of the foot odor.
I was going to say, anybody could take my place, you know. Yeah, possibly a trained monkey if you guys know any.
Yeah, Chris Hope, if you're in the room, I'd love to have Chris come and fill that.
He's an excellent co-host. I've had him on my show several times, and he's filled in for me on Mel's show as well.
Yeah.
They're old shoes. Yeah, they are, Chris.
Beautiful, beautiful footage.
Absolutely.
We've got Artco saying he'd love to jump into your shoes. Hopefully he'll get the Glen 20 first. Do you have Glen 20 over there?
Glen 20? What's that? No.
A spray to disinfect.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, he might need them. They're old shoes. They are old shoes.
Yeah. And who else above and beyond? Is that loaded question, but I don't know if that means you want to or not. Anyway, guys, email me and we'll add you into the mix. Speaking of which, if you've got a guest that you'd like to have into the show as well, email me. Tell me who you would like to see on the show. It helps me to keep it interesting and mix it up, so I'll go and chase those people down and include them in a future edition. Again, if you want to email me, the email address is upload@gregkuhnert.com. Any last thoughts and wisdom from you before we go, Lloyd?
Actually, yes, because you said if there was a pause, I should have a joke ready, and I've got one.
Okay.
And it's actually an Australian joke.
Okay.
Why aren't koalas actually bears? They don't meet the qualifications.
And with that, I think we better get out of here. Thanks for watching. See you next time, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks for having me, Greg. We'll see you.
See you. Bye.